There's a moment in every relationship argument right before it spirals where you can feel it coming. Your chest tightens, your thoughts start racing. Something in you wants to either push harder or completely shut down. Most couples miss that moment entirely. By the time you realize what's happening, you're already in it. In this video, I'm going to show you what to do in that exact moment before the fight takes over. Here's what most relationship advice gets wrong. It tells you what to say during a conflict, but the real shift happens before a single word comes out. And once you learn how to catch that window, you will have more control than you ever thought possible. You cannot talk your way out of an emotional reaction. When you are triggered in an argument, your brain's threat response is running the show. The part of your brain responsible for logic, empathy, and listening goes offline. That's why trying to explain yourself better, choose the right words, or stay calm through willpower alone doesn't work. Your nervous system doesn't respond to logic, it responds to signal of safety. And that's exactly what we're going to explore. First, you have to know your pattern, warning signs, because everyone has them and most people ignore them. For some people, it's physical, heart rate spikes, jaw tightens, breathing gets shallow. For others, it's mental. Thoughts start looping, everything feels urgent. You stop hearing what your partner is actually saying. These are your body signals that you are about to leave a conversation, not physically, but emotionally. Once you learn to recognize those signals, you have an opportunity to engage differently. Once you can catch that moment, everything changes. I use a simple three-step pattern interrupt with couples who keep spiraling in arguments. Step 1. Name it to yourself, not out loud, not to your partner, just internally. I'm feeling triggered right now. That single moment of self-awareness activates a different part of your brain. It doesn't fix everything, but it creates a tiny gap between trigger and your reaction. And that gap, that's where your relationship changes. Step 2. Slow your body down. Before you say anything, take one slow breath. Not deep, not dramatic, just slow. Because your nervous system cannot distinguish between a real threat and relationship argument. A slow exhale signals to your body, I am safe. I don't need to fight or flee. It takes about 6 seconds. Most people won't do it because it feels too simple. But simple is exactly what works when your brain is flooded. Step 3. Reorient to your partner, not the argument, not the point you're trying to make, your actual partner. Ask yourself one question. What is my partner feeling right now? Not whether they are right or wrong, not how to respond, just what are they feeling? That question alone pulls you out of your own reactivity and back into the relationship. Why this works? These 3 steps work because they address the real problem in relationship conflicts, not the words, not the topics. Rather, the state you are in when you are trying to connect. When both partners are dysregulated, when both nervous systems are in threat mode, no amount of communication skill helps. But when even one partner interrupts their own reaction, the whole dynamics shift. Because emotional states are contagious in relationship. When you regulate, your partner's nervous system starts to feel it too. I work with a couple who had the same argument every Sunday night. It always started small, plans for the week, tone of voice, a look. And within 10 minutes, they were in a full-blown conflict spiral. In therapy, we didn't change what they talk about. We didn't teach them new phrases. We just taught them to catch the moment. One of them learned to say, I feel myself getting activated. Can we take 5 minutes? That's it. Within 3 weeks, the Sunday night pattern had almost completely stopped. Not because the issue went away, but because they stopped letting the reaction run the relationship. So the next time you feel an argument coming, before you say anything, name it. Slow down. Reorient to your partner. 6 seconds for the breath alone. It won't feel natural at first because your nervous system is used to the old pattern. But every time you interrupt it, you're choosing emotional safety over the same old fight. And that's how your relationship starts to change. In the next video, I'm going to show you what to do after you have calmed down, how to reopen a conversation with your partner without it escalating again. Knowing how to come back is just as important as knowing how to pause. Subscribe so you don't miss it. We cover relationship conflict patterns, emotional connection, and couples communication every week.